in different areas. And a lot of people associate insurance to protection. Usually, once you hear insurance, you think about protection from loss, but we also have the ability to invest your money and cause you to get more money back than what you put into the products. And one of those products that is right now very popular with the young people is what we call an endowment plan. And it's a plan that allows one to, for example, have the protection of life insurance in case they pass away, we still pay out. So the protection element is still there at the core of it. This is what we do. But also in the long run, if nothing bad happens and if everything good happens to you and you have reached the age of retirement, you can actually get a lump sum of money from us that you can use for retirement or other purposes. So there are a lot of other areas that I could touch on later on, but I'll give some room for my colleague to speak.
It's interesting that you would have mentioned the endowment plan. When I started working, I was considering retirement options. I did not go the traditional way of saving for retirement, and then I approached Charitable, and that was proposed to me. So at this point in time, upon retirement, I can cash in my endowment plan by just contributing a small amount for the next 40 years or so until I retire. So that's a good investment opportunity, guys. Take note of that. Mr. John Baptist, tell us a little bit about what NCCU has to offer on our financial journey.
Okay, again, good evening to our viewers and to those present. As you know, NCCU started with the Rosa Credit Union in 1951. And this was started by Sister Alicia. But then the institution grew, and in 2010, the Rosa Credit Union amalgamated with other credit unions and formed the National Cooperative Credit Union. And today, the National Cooperative Credit Union stands as a beacon. And what happened? The NCCU, or the credit union, really catered for those who were not bankable, those who were poor, who could not approach the bank for financing. And so the credit union movement started as a result of that, where people helped others, people helping people. And this continued up to today. And today we have a wide array of services and products that we offer to the members. We have over 50,000 members, and so the members are given the opportunity to be part of the family of the credit union. And so when I saw the topic or the theme, the general theme, from savers to investors, I was a little bit concerned. I'm saying investor, and when you hear of investor, you're talking about bonds and stocks and the whole realm of those kind of jargons. But then when I sat down and I analyzed it, we see that our members are generally, they started basically saving their monies. And so that saving grew and created a pool. And from that pool, they were able to help other members within the family. And so there are certain products that I would like to highlight, that would have you save, but at the same time, draw you into the whole consciousness of investing. And so some of the products that are probably persons are not aware of them, but then I would just want to encourage them to get into them. And I can speak of one at this time, the Christmas quilt. This is a product that a lot of people, today, a lot of people are complaining that they do not have monies. When Christmas comes, things are dread, no monies to buy gifts and that kind of thing. But we have that product which encourages the members to save for Christmas. So members can start, or once they are a member, all they have to do is go to the teller, to the institution, and ask the teller to open a Christmas account for them. This account is only drawn, or it matures at the end of the year. So at the end of November, the account generates 5% interest rate, and the individual is able, that money is transferred to their savings account, and they are able to draw it via the counter or the ATM. The individual also, or the member, is expected to deposit on a monthly basis any amount not exceeding $500, and they can save up to $6,000 after the interest is added onto the savings that they have. And so this is one of the areas that I think that our members need to capitalize on, so that they can prepare for the inevitable, the whole question of not having cash during Christmas, so that at every Christmas they can smile. So this is one product that I can mention, but I have other products that I would like to mention. On this, if I can,
we can go along with them as we go along in the discussion. So okay. I just want to speak a little bit more about the Christmas Club account. You all are doing a great job at promoting it. I also encourage individuals to join the Christmas Club at any participating credit union. And the feedback that I received so far, there was one individual that was able to buy a washing machine just by saving through the Christmas Club. So it's a great initiative, and we'll learn more about your products as we go along. So you mentioned about investment when it comes to stocks and bonds, but what we want the public to understand is that investing is not only about financial investment. You can also invest in your health, in yourself, in your education as well. But if I'm new to investing, what are some of the things that I should consider? But before you answer that, let's take it a step back. And how can I identify if I am financially able to invest? Benson, can you share with us?
Yeah, so the word investing is so broad. You said it right. It's not only shares and stocks and treasury bills and these things. I know in growing up traditionally, this is the initial stuff that would have come to our mind when we heard it, but the financial sector is getting so creative, just like this Christmas Club. It's an excellent idea. So the financial sector has gotten creative in finding ways to assist the average citizen to invest their money with the intention of they getting a return on their money. The first thing that we have to do as a nation is understand what the options are. And based on the options, look at what our goals are, and based on those goals, work with that option. Because yes, there are different options in the market, but not all the options are for us. And I will say that every option out there is the best, but it is the best for who? It is the best for the person that has a need for that particular option. So for persons looking for short-term options, definitely, that sounds like an excellent idea, the Christmas Club. And right now I have to think about it. But you see, for us in insurance, we are more long-term in terms of how we operate our business. So we will not do a product with such a short time frame, but we do have other products that can assist with different things in life. So we have an endowment plan that goes on for 15 years, which is the shortest right now. And we have seen people in the market use that to send their children to university. So at the end of the 15-year period, you receive a lump sum of money from us. Then you have access to funds to either pay off the tuition or pay off the student loan if you had already taken out a student loan. There are different intervals. So there's 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Based on the age of your child, it helps you to plan. And you can still flip it in the sense of not just for student loan, but what if your child has an entrepreneurial spirit? Now imagine getting access to that lump sum of money to invest in your child, to help that child start a business in Dominica. Mm-hmm. Child starts a business in Dominica, they open up a savings because they must have a business account, right? The money goes into the bank, and it's a cycle. So we all have our part to play in the ecosystem of Dominica financially. Now, the last thing I want to say for us, which makes us a bit unique, because of the nature of what we do, which is at the core of it, protection against loss, but at the same time, we allow the opportunity to get returns on your money through that product specifically. It provides a sort of 360 form of protection. It serves two purposes. Because traditionally, saving in a bank, if you pass away, so you could start a savings, say the goal is to send my child to university, God decides to call you after 5 years. In that instance, your child will only access what you had time to save within the 5 years, which might be short of the goal. With the endowment plan, it's a win-win situation. So if you pass away, the full amount is still paid out because that's the life insurance aspect of it. But if you live to see the period, the 15-year period, the full amount is still paid out. So either way, the amount is going to be paid out. And we found that a lot of people have been unaware of that. And in recent times, a lot of young parents have actually started coming to us to put this in place for their children. So we have a responsibility to start asking questions and start going out to the different places in the market to find out what is available. But it all starts with what your goal is. Based on your goal, we will know what advice to give you.
Okay, so in order to assess if I am ready to invest in an endowment plan or to sign up for the Christmas Club account, I should ask questions, and set my goals, right?
But then, Mr. Hill mentioned the whole question of the endowment plan, but then we have the MRA, that's the members' retirement account, and this I think is unique. This one I think that at least the members should consider this because it prepares them for their retirement. We look at what is happening around us, and as Mr. Hill has indicated, what is happening around us in terms of monies and social security, because a lot of persons are dependent on social security for pension. Some individuals are employed with the government, and so they might receive a pension. But then the credit union has seen the need to provide or to offer that product on the market. And essentially what this does, it's an individual who is keen on having some monies at the age of 60 can invest by saving on a monthly basis a certain amount, not exceeding $1,000 a month. And it starts with from age 18 to 49 years and 11 months. So within that age range, you can open that account. And so it matures, as I said, at age 60. But what it does, what is interesting is the interest rate. I do not know if Mr. Hill can match the interest rate. But the interest rate is 4% per annum. All right? And so it grows, and I can give examples, because I like to be practical. Like for example, if an individual who is, age 25 and decides to deposit on a monthly basis $100, this individual at the end of age 60 will generate will save, that's the principle, $42,000. But, at the end of it all, at the age of 60, if they decide really they are not redeeming it at 55, then they're entitled to $90,297.67. So I think this is a really significant amount, which now can be translated into an investment down the road. Okay. Because that's what we're looking at, from savers to investor. And during that period, the individual can also borrow against that amount of money that's saved. So they can borrow against the principal amount that is saved, so not the accumulated interest.
So you can use it as collateral.
Collateral against a loan. And so for all the older persons who are retiring, probably they are receiving their Social Security pension, government pension, but then with this, they can put some money aside and invest in some other type of business. So a business that can generate income for them. And it's all good, and it's all good, that the older folks get their minds occupied. And so a commercial mortgage is another avenue, because a commercial mortgage, it creates generational wealth for the rest of the family. And so not not because you are 70 years that you cannot, invest in commercial mortgage, because it is an ongoing business. So even if you pass on, whoever it is is able to continue the payment of that loan and generate income from it. Okay. So that is one of the key products, I would say, that we have that can assist individuals to convert their savings into something that they can invest and generate income from.
Okay. I see Brenton crunching some numbers here. So Brenton, can you match that?
I don't like to really jump into numbers, but I will just share an example. So we do have a product that is sort of structured like Social Security, sort of like the MRA. It's different though. It's called an annuity. Some of us may have heard about it in the United States market. But
can you simplify that for our listeners?
So in simple terms, an annuity is basically a retirement tool. It is specific for retirement. You put money in it and you tell us what age you would like to retire. And when that age comes, you have the option to either get the full amount or get a monthly income for life, for as long as you're alive. And it can start as low as just contributing $100 a month. So for persons who think that, quote unquote, investing is too big for them, $100 a month hopefully should be easier for them to manage. And then you can build up on it in the future. The interest rate is 3.75. Just saying. So we do have that option available. But in terms of our endowment, so the endowment is not necessarily built on an interest rate per se, but it's built on a fixed amount. You say that I'm taking a plan for $250,000. At that age, I'll get it. The good thing about it, I only spoke about the short period. So that same plan can be converted into a retirement tool. You can tell us that you would like to receive it at 60, at 65, or at 70. And for young people, it is, I would say, one of the most powerful tools out there. I'm speaking on behalf of the young persons. Generally speaking, the younger you are, the more affordable premiums are for insurance. And I've seen cases where, for example, someone under 25 has come to us, taking out about 250 worth of coverage. And by the time they reach 70, they would have paid us 90,000. So you do the math. Now, going on another aspect of what he said there, which is, I believe, important. Investing doesn't always have to equate to investing for me. He mentioned generational wealth. And sometimes someone along that line has to make the sacrifice for someone else. I remember a quote where it said that the person who plants the seed for the tree does not benefit from the shade. So you make a sacrifice willingly knowing that it is for those to follow. And that can help in changing the dynamics in society. There is a very popular rapper who goes by the name of Master P. And if you did not do your research, his wealth started from a $10,000 life insurance policy that his grandfather left for him. So when his grandfather passed away, he got $10,000, and then he flipped it into being a $250 million worth person right now. But it all started with his grandfather's investment. And sometimes we as parents, or not necessarily parents, grandparents, can't do that for those to follow. And this in itself can change the dynamics and change the language in terms of investing, because I believe it's our responsibility as parents to train our children and prepare them as to how to manage money. And then you look for the different financial institutions to help you build up the money so that by the time they come into it, they can maybe open up businesses, which is a form of investing. As he said, they can open up commercial properties for rental income, which is investing, getting returns on your money. So there are a lot of different avenues. It is a very broad topic. Yes, you can invest in terms of thinking about yourself, but you can also invest in terms of thinking about those to follow. And one more thing that I'll say about the power of the endowment plan, I speak a lot about young people because generally speaking, as I mentioned, the younger you are, the more affordable it is. So it gives you more options. And I've seen cases with clients of mine where they actually take an endowment plan to undertake a mortgage. So that at the end of the mortgage, when the mortgage is cleared off, they get their house fully paid off, plus, let's say, $500,000 in their hand at the same time. Now, tell me if that's not
Sounds
investing or not. So,
sounds like a good investment.
yeah, there are different tools, but a lot of us don't know about these options because we don't go out and ask. And sometimes it's also important for us to find out for ourselves, because a lot of people think that insurance is just about death and in case of loss. But as I'm sharing right now, there's a lot more to it.
So I'm happy that you spoke about the young people, but I want us to touch on the retirees for a bit. So I have a scenario. If for the retirees who would have received their gratuity and they're getting a monthly pension, however, upon retirement they have outstanding debt, they have to pay their medical bills, they still have house care, they may have grandchildren to take care of. What types of strategies can they put in place right now to enjoy retirement while still being committed to all this?
This one is a ticklish one because I guess it starts from being disciplined from your younger days, and I think a lot of us people or persons who have been in that situation, it's simply because maybe they had unfortunate situations which caused them to be in that situation. However, the retirement pay or the pension that they receive, most of the time, it is not enough to cover the loans that they have or the mortgage that they still have, and for them to live comfortably. Yeah. And this is the issue, so that the institution now has to bend over backward to try and meet them, sort of halfway, in the sense that although they are retired, we consider sometimes extending the term of the loan to have them have a reasonable installment to pay so that it does not put pressure on them. But at the same time, while you're trying to assist them, they also find themselves, being indebted to other financial institutions, and this is where the discipline comes out. Some of the situations, they cannot avoid it. It's financial expenses that they must meet. But then the point is, the financial institution, as the credit union, we have always been considerate to those types of individuals and try as much as possible to work with them. But as I said, one of the impediments or the sub-point is the whole question of the lack of discipline, because they end up in further debt, and this is the problem.
Okay, so one of the strategies is consult your credit union to find out how they can work with you and have some discipline. Before we move to Brenton, for those of you just joining us, this is Financial Information Month online live discussion, and we are live on Imo News. So the listeners on social media, you can also share your questions through Imo News, and we will try our best to get them answered for you as well. Brenton, share with us some strategies which you would share on advice.
Yeah, I agree with my colleague. It is a difficult situation to address, because when you reach that age of retirement, your options become limited. I mean, the younger you are, the more options you have, the more time you have, but as you start getting older, that time span starts getting smaller. So by the time that you have actually retired, it's a whole different ballgame. So for us, I mentioned that our solutions are more long-term in terms of using our products to assist. It would reduce the options significantly. The latest we can offer, the annuity product, is 60, which is the one I mentioned that pays the monthly income. So if you're past 60, that is out the window. What one could consider, though, is protecting what is already there. And I'm referring to their earning capacity, if they maybe are still gainfully employed at that age, or the ability to bounce back more quickly. I'm using those words and I'm speaking about health insurance. For us, we can offer health insurance to someone up to the age of 64. And once they are actually covered by us, we can extend the coverage up to 99. So we recently, actually this year, we extended coverage up to 99 for our health insurance policy holders. We know that the older we get, the more susceptible we are to getting sick and getting injured. So having health insurance is a form of protecting your investments. And that is something that we haven't really spoken much about, because you can spend your entire life building up this cushion, have it in the bank or have it in whatever facility you have. But if you fall sick and you have a major illness, it is that same cushion that you have to go in and pull out those funds to take care of yourself. The question is it going to be sufficient? Because as you heard, at that age, you're already cash strapped, you have your bills to pay, and you have all the other responsibilities. And now on top of that, you have medical expenses. So health insurance is definitely, for me, one of the first areas that I would focus on. I would encourage persons, if they don't have it yet, to start thinking about it. And if it's not within your budget, speak to your children. And that's a real topic, because if our parents fall sick, I'm a child too, still. It falls back on us if they cannot handle it. Whether we like it or not, we are the ones that have to know when our investments to pull out money from our plans to take care of them. So they getting insurance is a form of protecting not just them, but that financial circle of the family.
Transfer risk.
Right, transfer risk. And I've actually seen a trend right now where young people, siblings are coming together, insuring their parents, and they're splitting the cost amongst themselves. Because if they fall sick, it's us. And also in terms of death, they will die. I don't mean to say it like that, but it's a fact of life. And when we want to be realistic about society and what has been happening, we have to recognize those things and start taking action right now to change it, change the language, change the dynamic, and then we will see a brighter future, a more independent nation financially going forward. So health insurance is a good place to start. And if they are young enough, as I mentioned, the annuity option is there. And if they do have children, maybe the children can chip in, because at that stage, the options are limited and you really have to become creative. And sometimes being creative means involving the children to support the process.
Okay.
Then I may add, if the individual is healthy, yes, of age, but still has the good health, and they have skills, then those skills can be translated into some form of income generation in terms of setting up maybe a small business in their, utilizing their own time at their own time at their own pace, and they could still generate income for themselves. So that is another avenue that they can look at, to generate income to help the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know the strategies as a retiree, what you can put in place. In a situation where we have individuals who may have lost their jobs, and how can they prepare for what's coming in the foreseeable months, and how can your institution help them to get through this?
So, I can probably start. First of all, you need to inform the institution, especially if you have loans. You need to inform the institution of your situation. And so for the credit union, we are very understanding, and so you may apply or request deferment on your loan payments. And this can be granted up to probably a year, depending on the situation. And it can be evaluated, and we can further grant. But the most important thing is informing the institution so that arrangements can be made, so that we know that you are unable to repay the loan, but that we would be understanding, because you on your part would be seeking further employment, looking for another job, and so we would probably have you into consideration and have you wait until you have found a job until you can pay that loan again. But it is very difficult, but the individual has to be humble, and they need to come to the institution and, inform us of the situation. That's the only way we can help. A lot of times we do not know. And so the loans, they run into delinquency, and eventually it leads to, cuts and so forth.
What about surgical, Brent?
Okay, so for us, we operate in a very highly regulated field. The laws surrounding insurance are more strict than the laws surrounding banking. A lot of people don't know that, so that limits the options that we can provide to clients. But in terms of what we can do within our space, there is a facility that could be added to the life insurance or the endowment plans that we call total disability. So if it was an incident where that person was out of their job because of an injury or illness that lasted for more than 6 months, we waive the requirement to pay that policy. Now, think of a scenario where that person became disabled for life and they have that endowment plan. We would have actually waived the premium for the entire period, and still, when that time came, still make the payout to the individual. But that's specific to being unable to work because of sickness or injury. Outside of that, some of our plans are what we call cash value plans. So over time, they develop funds on them. And if there are funds available and one is unable to pay, there's a clause in the policy that is called automatic premium loan. So it takes the funds automatically, the cash value, to pay the premium on your behalf. So that once you resume working, hopefully it will be within a short space of time, you then continue paying your policy and you just contribute towards that loan that was taken in the past to sustain it. So traditionally, these are the avenues that we have available. But I mean, if it's a national event such as COVID, when we had that situation, we went to the authorities and we were able to grant an extended period of grace for our members, but that was a special one-off event.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you, Mr. John Baptist. Thank you, Brenton. As you can see, there are a lot of options to become an investor and transitioning from a saver. The institutions can meet you where you are. So I don't want you to go anywhere because we have more partners that you can learn a lot more from. So we're going to transition right now. As we move across to our new partners, we say goodbye to
Thank you.
our two reps here, and I will just go ahead and make mention of our FIM partners, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, UE, Republic Bank, NBD, NDFD, Sagicor, ICWY, Central Cooperative Credit Union, Dominica Social Security, the NCCU, Pan American Insurance, Nagico Insurance, Domlec, DOASCO, the DAIC, Finance Focus, Jolly's Pharmacy, GIS Information Service, the National Youth Council, GGCEL, DYBT, the Dominica State College, and FLOW. And not only will we be having a discussion, but we'll be handing over a donation tonight. So you should stay tuned to learn more about Financial Information Month and how you can improve your financial management. Now going to hand over to the presentation of the donations. FIM partners would have collaborated this month under the theme Financial Investing from Savers to Investors, and we will be presenting this evening a financial contribution to the Alpha Center. So if we can call up the representative for the Alpha Center. Not getting it.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Alpha Center, we'd like to say thank you very much to institution for giving this donation to the school. The Alpha Center this last month, in June, celebrated its 50th anniversary. So it has been running for a while, and we serve students from all over the country. So we thank you for your continued support of the school.
We'll now call upon the representative for the Dominica Cancer Society.
Good evening to everyone, those of us online. To the Financial Information Month partners, we're very appreciative of the donation to the Dominica Cancer Society. As you know, we rely on donations and submissions from companies like yours and the general public for our activities. We are non-profit, and we use the funds to help cancer care treatment, which is very expensive. So quickly, I just want to remind us also that on Sunday is our cancer walk. So get your t-shirts and patronize our event this coming Sunday, October 6th. We start at Canefield to the Windsor Park Stadium, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and simultaneously we're having a walk in Portsmouth from Purple Turtle to Benjamin's Park. So again, thank you very much, and we look forward to you participating in our programs and giving us much more support. Thank you.
Thank you to the representatives of the charitable organizations. We're now joined by two new financial information partners while we continue our discussions. If you're just tuning in on IMO News, this is the live discussion for Financial Information Month, where we're hosting financial information partners and sharing financial education that can improve your life. With us, following from our previous discussion, we now have Mrs. Marlene Samuel Simon, who is the loans officer in personal banking at the Republic Bank. And we're also joined by Joel Joseph, who is an insurance sales representative of the Pan American Life Insurance. Welcome and good night. Good night. Before we go into the discussion, if you can just tell us a little bit about your company and the role that it plays in Financial Information Month.
Ladies first, So a pleasant good evening to everyone. I am Marlene Samuel Simon, personal banking officer at Republic Bank. It is a pleasure to be sharing the same space with our industry partners, as well as an opportunity to share with our customers and to also highlight our theme, this year's theme, financial investing and savers to investors, from savers to investors. We want to note that whilst Republic Bank is new to Dominica, we have been in the region since 1982. We are in over 47 branches and we have over 1,000 employees. In recent times, we, like all the other financial institutions, we've mastered the art of providing banking solutions, strategizing on innovative ways to be more competitive. We note that whilst all of this is very necessary to remain in the economy, we must never fall short in creating the simple and high-quality experiences for our customers. And three of the ways I want to share with us of how we Republic bankers do it. One, we move beyond our four walls. We believe that banking is not for just 28 Hillsborough Street. It's for the countryside, it's for the farmers, and often, or I would like to say before, we have the notion that banking will, for quote-unquote in our local parlance, bougie people. But we want to move away from that notion. We've created a space for our farmers, our doctors, our lawyers, our street vendors. And we want everyone to have that equal opportunity to share and bask in our array of products. And those products I'll share a little later on. We also strive to improve our communities financially and otherwise, because we believe it's because of those communities. That's why we have jobs. That's why we're able to sustain ourselves and our families. And we don't take that lightly. We appreciate your customers. And in a nutshell, Republic Bank is there for our customers, and we appreciate you. And we will tell you a lot more about our suite of products. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Simon. Mr. Joseph, tell us about what you offer at Pan American.
Okay, again, good evening to those listening by MO News and those sitting here with us. Pan American Life is a 100-year-old company. It's a life insurance company principally. We are the firm believe that nothing in commerce would move if there was no insurance. Nothing. The credit union would not move, the bank would not move, the construction sector would not move, nothing would move without life insurance and without insurance in general. So we are happy to be able to serve individuals and to serve the communities more generally. Pan American Life operates in 47 countries around the world. Our main office is in Louisiana, America, and our local office is on 18 Kennedy Avenue, just across the road. We operate from 8 to 4, the office operates from 8 to 4, but you can meet an agent at any time. Sunday to Sunday, 24 hours. We offer principally life insurance, but we also offer personal accident benefits. Personal accident benefits basically provides for persons who are essentially self-employed people who want to protect their income should they become ill or should they have an accident and they cannot go to the workshop, or they cannot go to the office, or they cannot go to the plant to work. In cases when that is not possible, you will still have an income. And there are a whole range of products we have for that. I noticed that you have, you donated to the Cancer Society. We have a special product that, well, everybody can benefit from. We know what prostate cancer is doing to men in Dominica and what breast cancer is doing to men in Dominica. And we have a really exciting product that can provide for the healthy people who could become cancer patients. And so it doesn't do the kind of financial havoc that is causing now to Dominican people. I mean, there's anybody and everybody here who has a cousin, a friend, a sister, a student, a brother who has had cancer, and you know the pain, emotional pain and the financial pain that comes from that. Before we leave here, I want to share with you on that as well. From saving to security, you can invest in your children if you want to make a brighter future. So you can put small amounts aside over 15 years, 20 years to ensure that your children do not have the kinds of hardship that you have. So you maybe have to take a loan, a student loan to go to secondary, to go to college. Your children do not necessarily have to go through that path. And I'll explain that a little further. So Pan American Life is an insurance company that tries as far as we can to take care of as many needs, financial needs as possible.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So we're speaking on the topic, investing, from savers to investing. At Republic Bank, for example, if I'm a young professional, one of the major investments I can make is to get a mortgage. What are some of the things that I should consider coming to Republic Bank if I'm interested in getting a mortgage?
We like to have that conversation to really understand what the need is, because some persons prefer to buy a home, some persons prefer build, and what we will do, we will kind of tailor to meet that need. But some of the things that we really look for is that loan within retirement age, and I think one of the questions that was asked earlier on one of the partners who was their job. We want to keep within retirement age because after retirement, it is very difficult to maintain a mortgage. So in Dominica, retirement age is 65. We keep that mortgage within that term. For self-employed persons, we can go also look at what we call loan to value, but in simple terms, we basically the amount of the collateral, right? The equity on the property. So based on the area that you want to purchase, that might be worth a little more. If you're looking to invest in the future, you want prime areas so that you could put rental apartments. So those are some of the things we will encourage you to do. And for a mortgage customer, some of the other conditions would fall around the lines of probably, because for a lot of persons that approach us, they may have other debts. And sometimes persons are kind of intimidated to come to us to have a mortgage conversation because they figure they have other debts. But you know, we as bankers as well have been in those situations. And it's because of our trainings and our in-house conversations that we've learned how to do it better. So what we want to do is have that conversation to see if it can be taken on immediately, or if that client may need a little more time to put things together, to consolidate the debts. But we really want to make an action plan and to help the project on the best way possible, because a mortgage is not supposed to be a burden, a burden. A mortgage is to help to improve your life, to give you that's what we were speaking about earlier, to help you to build a generational wealth for your children. And so while the life insurance people look at the end of it, we want you to be comfortable from the start to the end. No offense. We want that comfort. And that's why we have that conversation, to really assist you in what you can qualify for so that you stay within that range, or to really help to keep you balanced. Right?
So can you just tell for the listening public, what are some of the basic documents that they should start to prepare if they want to come and have that conversation with you?
I don't want to scare you with all of it, but the basics. The basics would include job letter, pay slips. We ask for a statement of the account that your payroll go to. In some situations, we may ask for copies of the title for the land. But just to let our listeners know that we assist you, we walk you through. We don't just give you a paper with a list of requirements. We want to know why you're having challenges in obtaining those documents. And Mr. Joseph can attest to it. I'll walk to his office to get the life insurance document for the customer. And that's the kind of service we want to provide. We want to be in it with you. Yes, we want the dollars, yes, but we want to ensure that that process is seamless as possible, especially for first-time homeowners.
Okay, thank you. So I know that the list is quite extensive.
But it's attainable.
But it is attainable. If you ask the right questions, the bank will assist you on your journey. Mr. Joseph, you're in the business of protection.
Primarily, yes.
Primarily. And we know when it comes to investing, there are things we need to consider before taking that leap, because we may make the wrong investment and may lose what we've worked all our life to attain. How can an individual avoid fraudulent investment schemes and scams? Because, you know, we're interested in investing, so anything might look attractive to us and we see an opportunity that we may just jump on. What should we consider? How can we identify fraudulent schemes?
Okay. Our country is a small country, and in some ways, it can be negative, but in many ways, it's a positive. We know the vendor on the street corner. We know the police officer. We know our commissioner. We know our prime minister. In big countries, I mean, I was taken aback. Was it 4 weeks ago that we had the presidential debate between Harris and Trump? And Harris, current deputy president of America, meeting a former president of America, said she was meeting him for the very first time in her life. In our small Dominica, we get to meet our pal reps. We get to meet our prime minister, our leader of the opposition. And in fact, we do not vote for them if they never come to our homes. That's how small we are. We say, well, who is Mr.? I've never seen him. Why should I vote for him? even if he has a PhD, even if he's very qualified. So we being small, it's easy to get information. We can go to the bank to find out about that person. We can go to our credit union to find out about that person. We can go to the registry to find out about that person. So in addition to doing what I do with Pan American Life, I also do real estate. So if I wanted to know some things about you, I could go to the registry, pay $7 and find out a lot about you. And anybody here can do that too. $5 stamp, $2 for copies. And I have all your documents before me. So because we're small, it's easy to get information through your registry, for the bank, for the police records. You can ask people for police records, all that kind of stuff. You can go to the registrar of companies for information. So there's a whole repertoire of sources and avenues that you can get information from because of our smallness. Dominica's only 29 miles long, 18 miles wide. So if you don't know, it's really because you're not doing enough research.
So that's on the local front.
Yes.
But we know this smartphone that we have in our hands, we see a lot of things that can intrigue us to make the wrong decisions. What are some things that people should consider when understanding or even overlooking investment?
Well, the smartphone is smart. And if we look for the right things, we'll find them. I sit with my daughters and we do homework and I say to them, I am going to tell you this one. Because there's one daughter here, one other there, 3 cell phones on the table. That I will tell you, that I will not tell you. Do research. And I sit and watch them do the research. So if we look in the right direction, there's Google and there's so many different search engines these days that we can get information from. And we can get bona fide information from. So we're not ever very far from good information.
Mrs. Simon, you want to add to that?
From our end, some of the things we do to help to protect our customers, and not all of it we can control ourselves, but that's why I emphasize a lot on having the conversations. We have a compliance team that we work with and we get support from for our customers. We also encourage our customers. It's an additional cost, but it is very much worth the cost. For example, with the purchase of land or even a mortgage, the documents has to pass through a lawyer. And there's a reason for that, to ensure that our customers are protected, that they are not purchasing illegal stuff. They are not put in a situation whereby, for example, I had a customer that wanted to purchase land. And one of the things we asked him to get is a document from the planning to ensure that that portion of land is a residential area, because long ago, our parents or grandparents, everybody know whose land is who, but there's no documentation. Or even when there's documentation, for example, in Dominica, there are some areas that are for forest reserves and they cannot be sold. Unfortunately for that customer, when he went to planning, it was not an area that could be sold. So we do our best as much as is humanly possible. And again, as I said, we will seek assistance from our compliance departments to really strive to protect our customers.
Okay. All right. Take note of that. Tell us a little bit more about your products that are available.
Ooh, the exciting part. So, unfortunately for us, while we all share the platform of life, house insurance, and banking, Republic Bank is a one-stop shop. We are agents for life insurance, house insurance. We do give our customers the opportunity to shop around. We don't hold you hostage. And from the suite of products would include savings, and that could range from savings, what we call the junior savings for children. We have savings for seniors, senior accounts. We have checking accounts. We have accounts that doesn't incur the monthly maintenance fee, as a lot of people ask. We do personal loans for vehicle purchase, land purchase, personal expenses, and there's no amount. As I said, we are not a bougie institution. There is no amount that is too small, too big that we cannot handle. So feel free to come to us. We do mortgages, and that can range from switching, it could range from to a build, what we call a bill easy, so a construction loan, a home purchase. What other loans we have? We do credit cards, and just to boast of our credit cards, we are the only bank on island that gives back AA miles for the Advantage card. We also have the cashback feature. We have the regular card for persons who just want to keep it simple and have sort of a cushion. We are not forgetting our small and commercial business departments as well. So as I said, it's a one-stop shop, and even what we just keeping within our theme, from investing from savers to investors. Yeah? What we encourage persons to do is, especially our young people, and Brenton emphasized a lot on our young people, is to, in the early stages, when you start working, and so life insurance, very important, invest in purchasing piece of land. Yeah? It is much easier to access the land while you're younger than when you're ready to build. Right now, areas that used to be $9 and $10 a square foot, we have them at 15. Real estate people, 20, $40 a square foot. So it's important. I just wanted to highlight that part. Invest early. Yes, we like Shein. I like to do the window shopping. We like those other things. And it's okay to treat yourself, especially when we work hard. But it's very important. And we speak of the generation, however, for our children. What are we doing for ourselves? We should also look to acquire some of those things earlier so that it is less expensive. And so by the time we retire, we can comfortably retire.
Thanks for that. Republic Bank has an array of products that can assist you in your financial journey. Mr. Joseph, there is a rise of entrepreneurs in Dominica. We see them all over the place. Some are successful, some are getting there. And while doing that, they're making significant investments. What are some of the products at your company that can help them protect those investments?
Well, all of the products that we sell can help. But one of the most exciting ones that we have, maybe the most popular one, is the Education Security Plan. Education Security Plan basically is an investment in the younger folks. So it's most popular among first-time mothers. Why are mothers so excited about it? Is because whether the mother is alive, dead, in good health, in bad health, that child will access tertiary education. Let me explain to you how it works. So $400, $150, $200 per month, we give you the assurance that you could have a lump sum of $50 or $60 or $70,000 at the age of 21, so that child can go off to tertiary education. If something happens during that journey that renders you disabled, we will give that child a maintenance allowance throughout that period. So every month, that child will get an allowance from us until that child gets to 21, and we will still give the child the same lump sum that we promised. If you are dead, we will give that child an allowance, or the child's ward or guardian that allowance for the 21 years until the child gets to 21 years, and we'll give the child that same lump sum. So dead or alive, sick or healthy, that child will go to university if that's what the plan is. Another plan that we have in Financial Information Month, which is also Cancer Awareness Month, is the Cancer Care Plan. For just $54 a month, you give us $64, and the exchange will give you the guarantee that if ever you're diagnosed with cancer, we'll give you a lump sum immediately of $40,000. Not based on preference, it's not based on your gender, it's not based on your religious background. Once your doctor says you have cancer, we'll give you 40 grand. No. The plan and the goal is that you would run off to wherever you want to run off to seek immediate attention. Every day you spend in a hospital, we'll give you $400 every day. If you have to do surgery, will give you $10,000. In countries like Dominica, people donate blood and we do not ask for payment. Places like Trinidad, you have to pay for it. We'll give you $3,000 for transfusions, for plasma, for blood donations. And if the cancer still takes you down, we'll give your loved ones $100,000 for just $54 a month. So, cancer or no cancer, I know that in religious circles, there's this song that says, no grave can keep my body down. If you have a cancer care plan, no cancer can keep your family down. Because cancer, dead or alive, you will have resources in the home to take care of the home.
Thank you. So do you have any commercial products that can assist entrepreneurs? I know there's a type of insurance called content insurance.
No, but we don't do that at Pan American Life.
All right, I want us to transition a little bit to understand a little bit more about money management and how your institution can assist an individual. For someone with a lot of debt and they're interested in investing, is it better for them to pay off the debt first or start investing while paying off the debt? And how can your institution assist them in doing so?
For each individual, it will be a case-by-case basis because person's salary differ, age range would play a factor, whether or not you can qualify for life insurance. But the preference is really to do a little of the both, right? So, for example, a person that would probably be heavily indebted, we would probably try to do a debt consolidation. That way, the monthly installment becomes less if it's just one debt, and the difference of the payment that you would have been paying for the different smaller debts would encourage you to put that difference on a savings account.
With life insurance, the principal way that life insurance will help you is through disciplining and budgeting, because it's a fixed payment every month. Creole Festival, you still have to pay $200. Christmas time, you still have to pay $200. Carnival time, you still have to pay $100. After 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seasons of that kind of discipline, you come to the realization that I can do that $200. And so sometimes, in fact, we're doing that now with some of my clients. You go back to them to do reviews. And they're so grateful. I'm so happy I have a life insurance. I never thought I could have done that. I never thought I had the discipline to do that. And some of them actually call in now to say, in fact, I have a few to do tomorrow. I will call in to say, Joseph, I want to buy more insurance. Because it has helped me to see that I really thought I couldn't do that. You know, sometimes you start the year and you say, new year, new rule. I'm going to lose 50 pounds by March. And you set targets. And you start well. January, all hunky-dory. March, everything looking good. But Carnival comes in April and you say, too poor. I deserve a little treat. And you treat for the Carnival and you never get back on the plan. Insurance is a longer term thing. And because of that, it helps us to condition our spending, teaching ourselves to do without this and without that, so that in the end we can have a better future, a better retirement. I mean, we have this program in Dominica called the Yes We Care. Excellent plan, excellent goals, excellent idea. But essentially, it's a result of planning gone awry or poor planning that took place 10, 20, 30 years ago that now the government has to take care of. If that was done, if the proper planning was done 20, 30 years ago, people would have the Social Security 60%, plus they would have the lump sum from their insurance scheme and maybe a little bit from their bank. So their retirement would be more comfortable, more dignified. If you need to do some plumbing at home, the parents shouldn't have to get involved in that. If you need to pass a coat of paint at the house, you don't have to go to the church to ask for help to do that. If you discipline yourself early enough, all of those things you can do and have a more dignified retirement.
Thank you for sharing that. There's a question on Imo News. Let's see if we can take it.
Age 60. So once you, up to from age 18 to 60. Welcome.
So the question was, is there a limit to the age of a person who can buy the plan you have for cancer care? And you will
Yes, there is. 18 to 60.
Or we can visit your website for more
Oh, yes.
portfolio.
Yes, palig.com. PALIG.com.
In your day-to-day, you meet with many different types of walks of people, different financial positions, and I'm sure you give them advice here and there to get through. In a situation where I'm married with children, and my home has two incomes, what strategies can I put in place right now that can help me to have sound financial management, but also to invest for the future of my children?
Well, you guys understand this? All right. So, in homes where there are very little ones, 3 years old, 5 years old, our focus at the insurance company usually is on the children. So we would offer that household more term insurance. It's cheap, but you get greater coverage. So that child who's 3 years old is about 15, 16, 17 years away from ever being able to take care of himself or herself. So that's where our focus is. Not on the mother, not on the father, but on the children. And so we'd offer them the more cheap, more affordable life insurance that gives them greater coverage. So we'd offer them endowment plans, whole life plans, but more term insurance because it gives them a greater coverage. So that if the mother is not around, if the father is not around, the children still has a good lump sum that they can use for education, for taking care of themselves, and for day-to-day expenses.
Ms. Simon, you want to add to that?
Just a little. Having two incomes in a home, some of us feel that if we have two, we should probably get a fancier house. Fancy is good, but it should be done within reason. Going back to our initial point of one partner losing a job, if that couple decides to take a mortgage, it's advisable, and we advise our clients to keep that repayment, to keep that installment at an amount where if one party loses their job. And also to add that having kids should never be a deterrent for investing or to plan your financial future. I got my mortgage when I had, it's not long ago, it's just recently, and I have two little children. Again, I was at the stage in my life where I could comfortably apply, although I had my children. So it's planning. And as I said, we partners here this evening, we didn't always have it all together. That is why we encourage, again, persons to come to us. It could be the partners in the life insurance area, house insurance area, banking area, so that we could really assist you with the knowledge we have and share with you, because we want our citizens to benefit.
All right, thank you for sharing that. It has been really insightful getting tips from you guys and understanding and learning more about what you have to offer as an institution. We want to say thank you for joining us while we switch to more financial information partners. But before we do so, we have one more presentation from the FIM partners, and this time we'll present a financial donation to, to the Operation Youthquake.
Pleasant good evening to all. Let me say it's a great pleasure to be here this evening to hear all these bits of information. It reminds me of my early days in insurance business. On behalf of the Operation Youthquake, its staff, its directors, and on my own behalf, acting director, I am very grateful for this gesture, and I want to thank immensely the Financial Information Month partners. At our stage at Operation Youthquake, this cannot be coming at a better time, because just this month, I had a challenge with paying salaries. Why? Because payments were, subventions from government was late. And it happened, I was told, the month before. So this coming in, whatever it is definitely going to help us balance the budget and to make the management of the limited financial resources a lot more easier. So once again, thank you very much, and may the abundant reservoir of the Lord's grace continue to overshadow you, and may you continue to utilize biblical economics by doubling your income every time. God bless you.
So while we wait to set up for our final pair of FIM partners, we just want to recap on the list of financial information partners while we celebrate Financial Information Month right here in October in Dominica and the wider ECCU. We have ECCB, UWI, FLO, DIC, DOMLEC, DOWASCO, Finance Focus, Republic Bank, National Bank, the NDFD, Sagicor, ICWI, Central Cooperative Credit Union, Dominica Social Security, the National Cooperative Credit Union, Pan American Life, Insurance, Nagico Insurance, DOWASCO, Jolly's Pharmacy, GIS, the National Youth Council, Digicel, DYBT, the Dominica State College, and FLO. So once again, welcome back to our final part of our evening. It's been quite a bit of information that we are sharing this evening. And I will now pass you over to Shoma John, who is taking over as moderator for the rest of the evening.
Thank you all. I suspect Luana wanted a little break since she did two of them. Great job, Luana. So good evening, NDFD and the Central Cooperative Credit Union. Let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves. That is with the beautiful lady.
Thank you. Good evening, Shirma. Good evening to the listening public. My name is Tricia Stout, and I'm an accountant at Central Cooperative Credit Union. Good to be here to share some information what Central has to offer.
You?
Hi, good evening, Shirma, and good evening, everybody, those in here and those online. Welcome to the NDFD. We are happy to be hosting this Financial Information Month. I think that's the second, maybe third.
That's the second.
Yeah. So I hope you're comfortable, and those online, you feel just as comfortable as those who are here. So at NDFD, we are always welcoming, and we always look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you. So thank you for hosting us in the beautiful conference room. And of course, our theme, financial investing, from savers to investors. So we're starting with you, Stout. Feel free to tell us whatever you want to about Central.
So first off, let me tell you a little bit about Central Cooperative Credit Union. Central has 2 branches, one in Portsmouth, one in Goodwill, and currently we have over 17,000 members. And so for our friends in here and the listening public, if you are not yet a member of Central, it is time to be part of this wonderful family. Central is all about its members, and we will take care of it. Come see what Central has to offer, and you'll be amazed.
I just became an active member of Central. Today, I set up my online. I said, let me set it up before I come on to do this program.
Welcome. We're proud
So
of
it's
you.
a nice platform, very comfortable to navigate. So thank you, Central.
You're welcome.
NDFD, feel free, tell us about NDFD.
Yeah, well, NDFD is, I would want to think, well known in Dominica as being the agency which facilitates the development of small and micro enterprises on the island. We have been here for 43 years this year. Maybe a little older than, not Central, but maybe Republic. But it's wonderful being of service to the micro and small business sector, which is in itself a form of moving from savers to investors in itself, in a real practical and active sense of the word.
Right. So Central, you're going to let us know how is Central assisting the average Dominican to move from being a saver, and if they're not saving and if they don't have an account, walk us through the steps. How can Central play a role in this?
So first of all, Central allows all members and potential members to invest in themselves and invest in their well-being over time. So, for example, we offer products that will allow you to do that, to invest in yourself, invest in your assets, invest in savings and grow your savings, and that in itself is a means of increasing your wealth over time. So, for example, we have different savings accounts. You have one account, but you have different sub-accounts. So you can utilize one sub-account for your daily needs, your monthly needs, and you can utilize another sub-account for saving, letting your money grow, earning interest, because, sometimes I'm sure some people are surprised to see that before the month end, they use up all of their funds unknowingly. But at Central, the system allows you to save while you incur your monthly expenses, but not using up all of your savings. And also, at Central, you have the opportunity to invest in a fixed deposit. Yes, so it's a facility that allows you to set aside some money for a certain period of time. When it matures, you can roll over that investment plus the interest that you just earned. So it's like you just forget about it and it continues to grow. Central is a very safe place to invest your money. With investments, there's different levels of risk. But Central Credit Union is a very safe place to invest your money in a fixed deposit and allow that money to grow. And it's a way of increasing your wealth over time. You can not only do it for yourself, but you can also do it for your kids and grandkids. If you can open a savings or fixed deposit account for your child or grandchild who was born today or yesterday. And when this child gets to 20 years or time for college, then this money becomes available for them to support them through their college years.
Okay, so we know this savings account is 2%.
2%.
What is the fixed deposit? You mentioned fixed deposit a few times. So is it higher than the 2%?
It is, yes. You get a higher rate of return on the fixed deposit than the normal savings accounts. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So tell us, Joseph, how does NDFD help somebody move from being just a saver from CCCUL to an investor with NDFD?
Well, you're not becoming an investor with NDFD.
Not with you, but how you are assisting
with yourself.
Right, to invest.
And, earlier on, we heard quite a bit of talk about generational wealth creation. And this is where we help persons to begin the process of generational wealth, which begins with you right now.
Right.
So we do not offer any of those banking services, so savings or fixed deposit accounts and that sort of thing. And neither do we offer the insurances, which were here earlier, but it's a more active source or way of building up your income generating capacity, because this is critical throughout our lifetime, that you have to be able to generate revenue, income, as you live, as you well, I don't like to say exist, but sometimes we do exist, because we spoke about when you become disabled or ill, that sort of thing. So that is a phase of just existing because you're just there. But if you have a business that is doing well and generating revenue, then you are able to meet at least your basic needs, and the insurance or the savings accounts you have wherever would be able to complement that. But at some point in time, the savings are going to dry up. But if you establish a really good business, then you would be able to keep that revenue being generated.
So walk me through the process.
Right.
I have a business idea. I want to go into business. I want to have multiple streams of income. I have my 8 to 4. So tell me, how can NDFD assist me?
Right. So one of the things that we advise is that you plan. The idea could just strike you, all right? But it remains an idea, but you have to kind of sort it out. And the first idea may evolve into other things, right? So you have to identify what in that idea would generate revenue for me. Well, what do I have to do to get that going? And we have a department that can help you to do that. So our business support services department can help you to develop a business plan. Alternatively, we also use what we call a business model canvas, which some people like to call it a simplified business plan, but essentially that's not what it is. It really is a method of planning your business, just in a different way, which is more illustrative and can get you to brainstorm even better. So we help you do that. And once you have...
Let's go one at a time. So I have my idea, I have a plan. I think I know what I want to do. So when I come to you, do you give me that canvas or do you walk me through it?
If you are able to work the canvas, you do it and you can just bring it. Likewise, if you can do your business plan, you do it and come with it. If you are unable to do that, we provide that service at a very reasonable fee.
Okay.
All right. And I say a very reasonable fee because the organization must generate some revenue, right? Yeah. So that is thing. So once you have sorted out, and in your business plan or in your business model canvas, you will have identified all of the channels that you have for marketing, all of the critical partners you need along the way to help you do that. You even talk about a little bit about your methodologies in terms of procedures of marketing, customer service. And so you can have, you do your projections of your revenue, and your expenses that you believe that you can think. Not that it's going to pan out as you plan, as you put it there. You need to keep an open mind that things will change. You make assumptions that people will buy my product, or you make an assumption that people will buy $1 million worth of my product in any period. It may happen to be 2 million. It may happen to be less than that. So you have to be prepared to do that. If it is less, how do I increase it? If it is more, can even increase it more? And what else can I do? So that is with the business plan. So once you have that and you take it to us, we start to review it. And we say, okay, we can advance you the funds, loan funds, and you have to repay at that rate for that period of time. And we also do follow-ups with our clients who start their businesses or who do expansion of businesses. So we don't just leave you on your own.
Right.
And as long as you welcome us to work with you, we do that. So within the first month to 3 months of starting up, the first month might be very slow, where you're really just beginning to do things. So we may visit you, or if you have an issue, you come back again. But by the 3rd month, by the time you're ready to go up, we would have visited you at least once to ensure that you are on track. You are utilizing the funds for what it is intended to is very important, because if you took funds to start a business, then it means that the business is supposed to repay the loan. So if you don't invest it where you intended to, that leaves you in a funny position, that you are going to wonder, how am I going to pay? Or you may have cost overruns. What do I do? And most people, when they reach those difficult positions, they are either scared or sometimes ashamed to come back to the financial institution. And I've had that story told to me. So why didn't you come back and talk to us? I wasn't sure, no, I was afraid, that sort of thing. So one of the lessons tonight may be that if you have a relationship with a financial institution, and financial institution includes the NDFD, the insurance, and the banks, all right? And the credit unions, sorry. But you need to keep that relationship and communicate. What are the challenges you are having? Because things will change as you move along, and you didn't make the life, you just live it. So you have to anticipate the changes that come along. So, and two heads are better than one because it has 4 eyes and 4 ears and 2 noses.
Yeah,
and
double
2 mouths.
everything.
Double everything, right?
So you're going to tell us when we come back, why should I go to NDFD instead of going to a credit union or to the commercial bank, okay?
Okay.
So just think of your response. And I'm moving to Stout. So, oh, fine, no problem. A question from our online viewers. Central, your interest? I think I asked that, yeah? But go ahead.
Okay, so it's a tier structure. It depends on the amount. And so, but the maximum interest rate is up to 2.6% per annum.
Yes. So it's up to 2.6, but it depends on how much money you're investing.
Yes. And also the term you could do.
And how long you're investing it
the
for.
term.
So
You
if
could
you're
do a
investing
year,
500,000 for 3 years.
It starts at 1,000.
Right. So 1,000 to 10,000 might be 2.2.
Yes.
Right. So it's a tier structure.
It's a tier structure. It's actually 1,000. The first structure is 1,000 to 50,000. But it goes from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. A maximum of 3 years.
Okay. So we hope we answer that question. Right. So tell us, so we have the fixed deposit, CCCUL. You also do mortgages.
Yes.
And as a form of investment, land mortgages. Talk to us about this one.
Yes, absolutely. So as I said earlier, Central allows you to invest in assets and also invest in yourself. So when you have saved enough money and you have a little extra funds, you could begin to look at a mortgage. Central right now offers a very affordable rate. Depends on your risk rating. You can get a mortgage for as low as 4.75%. So yes, and so when you invest in this asset, basically it's a way of increasing your wealth over time. Mm-hmm. You accumulate assets. We also offer education loans as low as 6%. So you can invest in yourself by coming to Central to get an education loan, invest in your education to make yourself more marketable, to get a good job, So yes, and we also have what we call the cash secured loan, which is as low as 4.5%.
Really?
Yes, and I think this is probably the lowest rate on the market.
One of the lowest rates.
4.5%, yes, cash secured loan. And surprisingly, Chairman, this is one of our fastest growing portfolios.
Very good. So that means the people have the money there.
Yes, they do.
So that's the benefit of saving.
That's the benefit.
Once you have the money there, you can go into the credit union and just request your money, please. You're not even asking if you can get a loan. I would like to lend my money, please. At 4.5, so that's a good one.
That's a very good
I also know another partner with the share covered at 4.5, just to see. So that's a very good one. The 4.5, the 4.75, the mortgage, I want you to tell us the benefits of it when I'm done with it. Joseph, because Joseph, you were supposed to tell us why I'm supposed to go to NDFD and not to the credit union or commercial banks. What's the benefit of coming to you?
I would have thought that was a little bit obvious. But we specialize in business development, and we're structured that way. We have put in place mechanisms to help with that. So maybe Central might give you a loan for small business if you really do the business. But no offense meant, but just to be on the lighter side. But that's what we do. We specialize in that.
It's in your name.
We have experts in terms of business development, in terms of being able to help you track your expenses, being able to interpret your financial statements for you, being able to help you develop your financial statements, being able to plan forward. So we are structured for that. This is the main advantage. So if you're sick, you don't go to a mechanic.
Go to a doctor.
You go to a doctor. If your car has a problem,
It's a mechanic.
mechanic.
And so if you want business
If you go to
development,
business development,
you
you
come
come
to
to
the MD. Yes, go ahead, Stout, no problem.
Yes, I would also like to add that we do offer business loans as well, but we do support the small business community. In fact, we are a proud sponsor of NDF, this Creole in the
streets. Okay, so we are partnering. Well done.
Yes,
we are
a proud
partnering.
sponsor.
Yes.
So we do support small businesses as well.
Very good.
I was hoping I'd have used that to close up an
She did it before you.
Yeah, but of course, and that's the beauty of partnership.
partnership,
Just in
yes.
case you forgot.
Of course, no, I would have come.
Yes. So you're going to tell us the 4.75. There's some other advantages to taking the mortgage at the credit union, like your compulsory savings and so on. Just walk us through that.
Yes, so at 4.75, that's a very affordable rate.
Very.
And it's, it allows you a comfortable installment. You can have money to do other things. You have a home, you proudly own your home, but you do have funds to do other stuff. There is also some form of insurance on the mortgage. So in the event that something were to happen to you, you can't work anymore, or you had an accidental death,
right?
Or the insurance will cover up to $150,000.
Okay, hold on there. Is that just mandatory once you have a mortgage essential? It's automatic?
Yes.
Without
Yes.
going to the doctor or anything?
Yes, it's covered
Good
up
to
to
know.
$150,000.
Good to know.
Yes, so in the event of your death,
Yes.
in the event of your death, your loved ones would not have to struggle to find money to pay off that loan.
That's a great
The
benefit.
insurance company covers that.
$150,000 covered just because you have your loan with Central. That's like a really great benefit.
Very much so.
So I love that. So that is one benefit. Then I think there's a compulsory saving component.
Yes,
Speak us through that.
There's a compulsory savings component. So basically, when you pay your installment, you pay a little extra, and then it goes on your savings account, but you don't have access to withdraw it.
Right.
It goes on your saving account, it accumulates, it also earns interest. So by the time you're done with paying your mortgage, this money becomes available to you.
And sometimes that might be the person's only source of savings, when
Which
you
is
have that
very good.
compulsory payment.
Yes.
And I think there was a third component that I loved. I'm trying to think about it. So they can put the insurance into the payment, the monthly insurance.
Yes.
I love that one
Yes.
also.
So, having to come up with, your insurance can be anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 annually. And so having to come up with this money, it can be a struggle. I know some persons, at the time that the insurance is due, they take another loan
to
from
cover.
somewhere else, putting themselves in a greater
More debt.
financial burden. So the credit union supports its members by building this insurance component into the loan. So when you pay a loan, some money goes aside to an insurance account. We have a special account. It's called the insurance account. And when it's time when your insurance is up or it's due, we use this money to pay your insurance. So you have nothing to worry about.
Yes, I love that. These are real great benefits
Very
for
much so.
customers. Feel free,
Well,
because
seeing that,
one of the
yeah,
questions I have for you is the challenges, if there are any other challenges that you face besides the communication part of things.
we always do things that will assist small business persons. As I said, we have departments that are set up to deal with specific issues. One of the things that we recently did was to employ what we call a business support, where it goes out, seeks, feels the pulse, and gets the clients to kind of be more free. So rather than waiting for them to come to us,
you.
we
Go to them.
even more. This is something we started in having that office to go out and meet the clients and figure out what the issues are. And as I said, the issues will always come up. We also, while Ms. Stout mentioned the NDF's Creole in the Streets,
Right.
this is a marketing event, right, that we host every October. As I said, things will always change. So last year we had the Christmas edition of it. It was not because we chose, but because on the day that we had it planned, there was the threat of a
Weather
hurricane.
system,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
we had to cancel
Right.
for that day, and then had to figure out when is the best time. But you cannot just put it any time because there are other events. And then eventually the clients were like, we need our event. We want our Creole in the
Very
Streets.
good.
And then we met with them and they said, hey, let's try it for Christmas.
Christmas.
So we did that, working with our clients again.
Right.
So this year we have it carded for the 18th of October. That's, I think, 2 Fridays' time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right. So it's a marketing event, and it's really a showcase
Yes.
of what marketing is. So you advertise, you promote, you sell,
You
give
right.
the best customer service possible, you secure future orders and that sort of
Right.
stuff.
That's
yeah.
a great event.
Right. Yeah. And then we help the clients to do that. So we help them to do business cards. We help promote them. You know, we promote them on our various social media sites and everything else. And then we bring the customers to them as well.
Right,
So it's just
right.
a wonderful event of marketing that we do. And it's amazing to see the sort of support. And then a lot of the financial institutions have come on to support NDFB this year. So Central, yes.
Right.
A couple of the insurance companies, I think ICWI, I think Dominic is coming on board. You know, quite a few
Yes,
organizations
partnership.
are partnering
All
with
my
us
partners.
to do that. Yeah, so it's this year is, well, every year we say it's the best.
Yes, but it's growing.
Yeah, but it's growing, and,
Yes.
and people are looking more and more forward to it. I must say the National Bank is always, every year, has supported the NDFD with that. So we welcome it, and it's foolhardy to say in an industry you don't have competitors. I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, but you know, the level of partnership and collaboration we see. I always tell people, competition has its benefits, but competition and collaboration
Is the way to go.
And yeah, so we look forward to that this October. We also, following that event, we follow up with our clients and see how was it?
Right.
What was missing?
Right.
Did you really have sales, or did you seek your future sales? You know, and we take the feedback and we build it into the thing. So, which is one of the reasons why we are able to continuously improve on that.
Very good. We are going to wrap up. So I'm going to give each of you a minute or two to just let the public know anything you want them to know about your organization. Feel free. Stout.
Yes, thank you, Shema. Just to let members and potential members know that you can manage your savings, your investments, your loans via our central online platform. So we have Central Online. You can transfer funds to your special savings account so you don't end up using it unknowingly. You know, you could check your loan balances, pay your loans. So yes, you can utilize our Central Online platform from the convenience of your own home. And finally, just to let our members know, you know, with all investments, there's risk and different levels of risk. But Central is a very safe place to invest your money. And when you invest with Central, you're making a smart choice.
And I just got my card. You want to? Central has card now. ATM card. I just got mine. Tell us about the card.
Okay, so we do have ATM cards. So when you come in branch, you apply for. You can apply overseas from overseas as well if you live overseas. You apply for your ATM card. You get your card within 2 weeks. Sometimes if there's a delay, you can get it within 3 weeks, but not more than that. And the card, well, unfortunately, at this time, we can only use it at the ATMs. So we did not have the privilege of using it online as yet.
Okay.
But that is something, you know, in the pipeline.
Right.
So right now, you can only use the cards at the ATM. But, I mean, it's convenience for you, especially on a weekend when you need money.
Right.
So you can use, and then you may have emergencies with your kids. So you can go to any one of the ATMs at the NCCU branch, High Street, at the central building itself to withdraw funds from your account.
Can we withdraw from the NBD ATM also with it? No.
No.
Okay,
No.
so we can
But you-
withdraw
but-
from NCCU ATM?
Yes.
Okay.
yes. But you can use NBD's card at the ATM.
Oh, okay.
You can use
Okay.
your NBD card at the ATM at Central,
Central.
and the ATM at NCCU.
So that's collaboration again. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Feel free.
Yeah, maybe what I would encourage persons to do is to start an additional revenue stream for you through the starting of a small business. And small business starting, yeah, you need to contact
I
me.
want one.
And small business can start from anywhere. A lot of them start from maybe somebody having an old recipe their grandmother used to do, and they want to develop that into some product that they could package and sell locally and even export. And I know all diasporans really appreciate those things.
Locals.
Yeah, the oils, the jams, the jellies, and everything else. So you can start with that. But the important thing is that what we do at NDFD is that we cater for more or less like everybody. So underprivileged people, we do cater for them because sometimes they don't have collateral to access this sort of financing they have. And again, through collaboration with other partners, other government and non-governmental organizations, we have developed special products for women. So underprivileged women, single mothers, and so who have challenges, very little income coming in and they want to start something, we have up to $4,000 that they can access.
Oh, that's good
Collateral
information.
free. It's collateral free, so they come, they get like a letter from the Bureau of Gender Affairs just to endorse them.
Right.
So they access that.
To start a
Yeah,
business.
to start, something small, and then they can grow from there.
Okay.
We also, last year and a half, in collaboration with ICA and the UNDP, we developed another, what we call financing mechanism for women, but it's still in pilot phase, but women in the parishes of St. Paul, St. Patrick, and St. David, who can access up to $10,000, collateral free again. But the catch to that is that we allocate 10% of whatever amount you borrow as a grant when you complete payment of that facility. So, for instance, if you borrow $10,000 to say do a little agribusiness enterprise, maybe poultry or something else, then we out of that we set aside $1,000, and that is just at 2%.
Interest?
Collateral free,
I
yes.
need that loan.
We make no money on that, right? And then we still give a grant of 10% of it.
So once I
And-
finish paying off that loan, I get
You
$1,000.
get
I'm in the parish of St. Paul, so I just have to come with my business
Yeah.
idea. So the only criteria is parish of St. Paul.
St. Paul, St. Patrick, St. David.
Okay, so in St. Paul.
You must be a woman.
I'm a woman. So tell me what else? What else you need from me?
For agriculture, particularly, you need to have an endorsement from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay, not in
that
agriculture.
You conduct
What's
that,
the other
but
area?
We will do a visit to verify whatever it is you are into. It's
Mm-hmm.
agriculture or agribusiness related. All right, you need to get your invoices as to what you're going to purchase. I think these are the key criteria. Well, we need to verify who you are. the
Well,
kind of
yes,
customer
yes.
and whatnot.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's
And
some
pretty
good
basic,
deals.
yeah. In addition to that, there is a little undeveloped component of that product. Is that we're trying to build in a micro insurance or parametric insurance into it. It's a little bit more difficult than we thought, but we're still pursuing it. And if there are any partners out there hearing us,
What
we
is
welcome
what are you looking like? What does that
because
look like?
it's agriculture or agribusiness. We know the risks in agriculture.
Right.
Yeah, crop failure due to
Right.
whatever cause. Agribusiness, again, you could have a failure of a business because
low raw
raw
materials.
packaging material shortage, whatever it is, spoilage,
Right.
those types of things. So how do we help to buffer that, cushion that effect, and help the persons to start again? So some parametric or micro insurance, we're trying to develop that.
Okay.
So this is there. In
So you need to
addition-
work with an insurance company.
Yes. some
Okay.
company
Okay.
insurance. In addition to that, we have products for youth in agriculture.
Okay.
So 18 to 35 years can access up to $10,000, 5%. For the most part, collateral free, but you will need an endorsement from the Ministry of
Agriculture.
also,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And we have other products for women. There is another one, again, I think up to $2,500.
I love those interest
Yeah,
rates.
so I will encourage you not to. But yeah, they're very, and a lot of women have benefited from
Of course,
that, who cannot
of course.
go to the bank or the credit union because of they don't have the records. that they
Right,
keep,
right.
Don't
That's
have
really
any collateral
important.
because they don't have the $2,000 savings that they want to access
Right.
at 4.5%. But so this is just helping them, and I must say our maximum term goes up to $150,000. Right? So once you get to that level, we can relinquish, and any
And
of the
send you
others can
off
say,
to
yeah, you
CCCUL.
can CCCU or anybody else who wants to assist. But by that time, you have a base set.
Right,
And
right.
we have quite a bit of those persons. There are financial institutions who send their clients to go to the NDFD, get them to do your business plan or get to your financial statements for you and bring it back. And then we provide bona fide information. We verify the information as much as we can. And we do that. So at a point in time, we realize we take you to that point, and beyond that, we can allow somebody else
Right.
to work with you.
So about other partners, Central, Republic, National, I hope I don't miss out anybody, National Credit Union and National Bank, Republic Bank, Central, and West Coast. West Coast is a partner. So we're ending it here. Thank you, my in-house attendees, for staying throughout the 2 hours. Our MO News viewers, thank you very much for staying on also. And Luana, of course, our other host, thank you. Merci Central, merci NDFD. And until next Financial Information Month, we encourage you to tune in to all of the radio stations. We have a lot more Financial Information Month events throughout October. Financial investing, from being savers to becoming investors. Thank you very much.
And a special good evening to you, our lovely viewers. We would like to thank you all for staying tuned in throughout the Financial Information Month 2024 discussion under the theme Financial Investing from Savers to Investors. We'd like to thank you all for staying tuned in once again. And remember, MO News, every moment online. Good evening.